Fans of Guillermo Del Toro should rejoice. He has created a TV show based on its own graphic novel. So this is an episode 1 review of the pilot episode of The Strain. So this is a pretty decent TV show, let me tell you, based on this first episode. Now, if you're unfamiliar with Guillermo Del Toro, I'm not probably pronounce his name wrong, can never pronounce his first name, but anyway. He's a very kind of prolific genre filmmaker, shall we say, with a passion for monsters, and this TV show looks like it's going to deliver on that. Now, so this is actually based on a graphic novel that I haven't read, if I'm completely honest, but it appears to be at least a kind of vampire-ish story. The story here basically focuses on a plane which is somehow kind of infected with some kind of virus, and there's some moving around in the cargo hold, some kind of creature that somehow affects all of these people with something. And you've got the plane lands in the airport and it's dead. There's no power, no signs of life. CDC are called in, of course, and we are introduced to our main character, whose name's F, easy to remember. And he's going to be our main protagonist. We would wager. And he hasn't seen anything like this, and it appears to be some kind of viral infection first of all. But that's obviously the episode goes on. There's kind of stranger things afoot. They find a kind of a large coffin type container within the plane. We're also introduced to some other characters, some sort of like shady businessman who appears to be some kind of like puppet master or what's going on in his kind of supernatural inclined cohort. And we're also interested in an older gentleman called Abraham, who appears to be on the force of good and some kind of vampire killer as well, possibly. Now, they never use the term vampire. It's too early in the kind of the series. We need to sort of throw that name around because they don't appear to be vampires in the traditional sense, but they do share some sort of attributes. So who knows what they actually are? We'll see. And it appears to be there are at least a few types of creatures. This kind of main one, which is based on this coffin, is very reminiscent of the kind of the Reaper, I would imagine, from Blade 2. You never actually really have a good look, but I've seen some of the promotional artwork, and it kind of looks like it's going to sort of go that way. And we have these kind of little threadworm things that appear to be almost connected to him. These are what's basically sort of spreading the virus, I think. And then we have, towards the end, we kind of see almost like this zombie sort of types, or kind of more humanoid kind of vampires at least, but acting like zombies. So very intriguing, very kind of setting up a fantastic, world that you kind of really are sort of intrigued to find out what happens. It's great special effects, a little bit CGI sometimes for some people, but overall I thought they were pretty damn decent, especially for a TV budget. But this actually has quite a movie feel to it, I've got to say, and that's obviously because you've got a film director doing this, I would imagine. And it's his own work, so he's obviously got a passion for this. If I had to have some problems with this, I do have a couple, but relatively minor, but the first one is some of the acting is a little bit shaky. Not with the main characters, I've got to say, but some of the sort of supporting cast. In particular, one that stands out to me is a kind of the female assistant to F, the CDC guy. Her line delivery is quite poor, I've got to be honest. The main cast are actually quite good. You have some familiar faces here. You've got Andrew Divoff, obviously the Wishmaster, he's here. You've got the guy who plays Samwise Gamgee, can't remember his name. So there are some, some recognisable faces. The old guy as well, I've seen, seen a few times. So, some quality actors in the kind of the main roles. I'm just a bit concerned maybe the smaller roles are kind of not so good. And I'll couple that with some of the actual dialogue isn't great. So what they're actually saying is just a little bit cliche. So the writing in regards to dialogue, unfortunately, I don't think is quite as good as the actual plot, if that makes sense. So we'll see how it goes on a kind of, further on down the line. This is definitely a show I'm going to check out. I mean, it really had me intrigued. I really definitely want to find out what happens next. And it's, even though I say it plays with the kind of the idea of this might be vampire, there's certainly differences in the actual kind of I guess the main vampire is very kind of, shadowy and not like your typical sort of vampire, and it appears to be very violent. There's one extremely brutal kill in this TV show, in this particular episode at least. So very intrigued. If you're a horror fan, I think you're going to like this without exception. I think you'll get a real kick out of this. Like I said, I don't think it's quite perfect. There are a couple of just sort of cliche tropes that it sort of falls into, and I'm hoping maybe the performances will get better. Sort of TV show progresses as well, but like I said, it was only the kind of more of the minor characters, so it doesn't bother me that much. Overall, I think this is a decent quality pilot, and I hope you go and check it out. I'm going to give this a 8.5 out of 10. Have you seen it? What did you think of it? Leave me a comment and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.